evening. I'm Byron Scott with the CTV News Update. More cases of COVID-19 at the White House. White House Press Secretary Kayleigh McEnany has tested positive for the virus. She made the announcement on social media this morning, but said that she's not experiencing any symptoms. Two other White House communication staffers have also tested positive as well. Meantime, the president is still hospitalized with COVID. He's drawing criticism for leaving his hospital room and taking a motorcade to wave to supporters outside Walter Reed Hospital in Bethesda. Well, the Restaurant Association of Maryland says Governor Hogan's recent order expanding indoor dining capacity to 75% does not go far enough. The association says struggling restaurants are still unable to pack their dining rooms because of distancing regulations. Some can't even make 50% capacity. The group wants the state health department to allow restaurants to install physical barriers between tables and booths.
All retail stores basically have some type of plexiglass barrier that's in use. But even going above and beyond that, the CDC in their food service guidelines allows for these physical barriers to be used in between tables and booth spaces in order to keep people safe. There are other states such as New York, New Jersey, Pennsylvania, and Virginia that allow for these barriers already in restaurants. And even taking it a step further, in the Maryland State Department of Education's recovery plan, as part of the transition of students back into the classroom, physical barriers are encouraged to be used. So, and then right here in Maryland, when you go into our casinos, you see at the table games that we have these plexiglass barriers. So the restaurant industry is just asking for their ability to use these barriers to keep their employees and their customers safe, just as all these other industries and entities are using them now.
The association is also pushing for the state to boost the current maximum of 6 people per table to 10. Well, the COVID-19 tally in Maryland is approaching 128,000. The state health department reports 500 new cases today, along with 3 deaths. Montgomery and Prince George's lead the state in COVID deaths with 810 and 807, respectively. Well, the Prince George's Department of Corrections recently completed a second wave of universal testing of its inmate population. The results show no positive cases from September 21st through the 25th among the system's 686 inmates. Employees have also been offered bi-weekly testing since August. Of the 706 tests since then, 4 workers tested positive. Officials said they had minimal contact with inmates. The department says it has taken steps to keep everyone safe from COVID-19, including reducing the number of inmates, suspending visitation and volunteer services, and stopping group roll calls for officers. Well, the U.S. Supreme Court will consider 2 cases that could have major effects on your voting rights and climate change. The first case justices will consider challenges Arizona's ban on 2 kinds of voting restrictions. One is ballot harvesting, where it's a crime for campaign workers and other activists to collect ballots for delivery to polling places. The second restriction allows election officials to discard ballots cast at the wrong precinct. The court also agreed to hear an appeal in a second case that originated in Baltimore. 24 energy companies object to a Maryland lawsuit that seeks to hold companies accountable for their role in climate change. Well, state troopers say they've issued more than 800 citations since September for drivers failing to obey the state's move over law. Now police have a reminder for drivers. Keisha Butts has the details.
That's right. Maryland State Police are continuing to remind drivers about the state's move over law. It requires drivers approaching emergency vehicles stopped on a highway to move over to the next available lane. If that's not possible, drivers must slow down. Emergency vehicles include those driven by police officers, firefighters, rescue personnel, utility workers, and tow truck operators. The intent of the law is to protect emergency personnel involved in traffic stops, road work, and accidents. The original law went into effect in 2010. State troopers say they've issued more than 3,000 warnings since September for the state's move over law violations. This is Keisha Butts with CTV News. Back to you. Police are investigating a deadly hit and run on Indian Head Highway. It happened at around 9:30 last night on the roadway at Salisbury Drive. Police say the victim is the 5th pedestrian killed on that stretch of highway in the past 2 months. Anyone with information is asked to contact police.
And authorities have arrested a suspect wanted in connection with a homicide in Clinton. He is 52-year-old Gerald Edwards. He's accused in the shooting death of D.C. resident Stanley Gaskins in February. The incident happened in the 7400 block of Old Alexandria Ferry Road. Edwards faces first and second-degree murder charges. Well, some upgrades are coming to the bus in Prince George's County. In addition to increased frequency of the bus, 21 new vehicles are coming online with Wi-Fi service. Starting in November, the bus will also offer Saturday service for the first time ever, and the system will also begin offering a service called Prince George's Link.
It's going into a part of the county where big buses just doesn't work well, going into residential neighborhoods. This would be a service that riders in those neighborhoods can call and basically reserve a trip using smaller vehicles, and we would take them to locations where they can get on bigger buses or to shopping areas close to their neighborhoods.
Prince George's Link and Saturday service are expected to begin in the first weekend in November. Well, a former cabinet member under President Obama is launching an organization targeting solutions to problems brought on by COVID-19. Former U.S. Education Secretary John King has launched Strong Future Maryland. The organization will promote proposals that tackle the public health and economic crisis brought on by the pandemic. The group will focus on structural changes in state government to address racism, climate change, the criminal justice system, food insecurity, and education. Well, Maryland gets a new delegate from Washington County. Dr. Brenda Thiem is slated to be sworn in today as the delegate for District 2. She'll be the first African-American Republican woman to serve in the General Assembly. Thiem replaces Paul Cotterman, who was appointed to the state Senate in August. Well, the Prince George's County Economic Development Corporation renews a partnership to help strengthen its relationship with the region's Hispanic business community. The agency and the Greater Washington Hispanic Chamber of Commerce signed a memorandum of understanding last week. The goal is to bridge the gap between county agencies and Latino small businesses.
Businesses are coming, and every day I learn about a new business. What we're trying to do, and I'm really pleased to work for the Economic Development Corporation, because there's an agency can actually do it or walk you through, because one of the things is that they are able to understand the culture of the Latino business and what they need. In this case, it walk them through the process. What is the entire county and the different agencies are doing for them to attract them, to expand them, and to develop more businesses.
EDC also has a satellite office that Latino small businesses can utilize. Well, the Education Design Lab awards Prince George's Community College with a $100,000 grant to help meet the demands of today's workforce. The nonprofit selected PGCC and 5 other schools for the 2-year grant. It's called the Community College Growth Engine Fund. Schools will use the money to create a Pathways program to help low-wage, entry-level, or unemployed workers learn skills for in-demand careers.
Community colleges really, we pride ourselves as being the center of these type of things, where we are the place where our community, our residents, our students can go and they can learn about how do they reinvent themselves for what's to come in the workplace.
PGCC will work with employers and the public school system to develop a Pathways program. Now, a quick check on a 3-day weather forecast. Tonight, mostly clear with a low of around 49 degrees. Tuesday, sunny with a high near 73 and a low around 55. Wednesday, sunny with daytime highs reaching the high 70s, nighttime temps dropping to the mid-50s. And Thursday, sunny with a high near 69 and a low of around 46 degrees. And now for the community calendar. Kick back with your family and enjoy an evening of musical entertainment. The Prince George's Community College Center for Performing Arts is presenting a pre-recorded live concert from the Prince George's Philharmonic. The free virtual event is this Saturday, October 10th at 7:30 in the evening. To register for the event, visit pgc.edu/arts or call 301-546-7269. And that wraps up our news for tonight. See you tomorrow at 4:30. I'm Byron Scott.